America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, Season 4, Episode 11. No, I don't have eyebrows. Yes, I don't have an eyebrow right here. I shaved it off. Yes, I look a mess. Yes, I look tired. Yes, I am tired. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to let you all know that I'm reviewing claws. You can find it up here. If you can't find it up here, then you can find it down below. And also, I have a sale running for my earrings. You can get 15% off using code word thanks. And it will be the pinned comment or in the description box below. And as soon as I start talking, somebody want to be outside making noise. But I don't really have time now, do I? Okay, let's get started. We see Ashley. She's mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. She's changing the locks, and she thinks that he literally came here for a green card that he doesn't even have. The friend comes over and says that, Ashley was head over heels in love with Jay. And, right now she's being strong, but it's because of anger. And she knows that she's going to crash and, she's probably going to break down. Her next step is to contact her lawyer and to make sure that he's out of her life. So she goes to see the lawyer and she files a no-fault divorce. In this situation, she would normally file a fault divorce, but that takes a longer time, and she wants it done, okay? So the lawyer's like, do you think he'll sign the papers? She's like, I don't know. I hope so. He needs to sign the papers. So she calls Jay. Jay comes over. Jay immediately goes upstairs, right, to the kids' room, not to their room that they would have shared together, to the kids' room. And then she's like, come downstairs. She's like, sign this. He's looking at her like, she's like, it's divorce papers. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna sign them. He gets his stuff, his backpack, and he leaves out the house. The producer is like, where are you going, Jay? Jay's like, I guess I'm gonna sign it because I have no money. She then bribed him, and she was like, if you sign it, I can take you to the airport, I can get you a flight, and I can take you to the bank and get you money. And he's like, how about I sign it on the way to the airport and to the bank? And she's like, no, you need to sign it here now so I can have witnesses. And he's like, why do you want to do everything on camera? And it was just this very weird interaction that they had with one another. But he ended up signing it. She ended up taking him to the fucking bank, getting some money out the bank, getting him a hotel room because there were no flights in Miami because he's going to stay with his brother. And I guess she gonna pick him up in the morning and take him to the airport. He said that he's so sorry that he let this beautiful, strong, wonderful, amazing woman out of his life. And, Ashley knows that it's over and she feels so alone. And, I was able to, get past the little 90-day fiance funk that I was in a couple of weeks ago. And I was able, to not complain about these videos and do these videos. But really, I just don't care. I don't care about Ashley. I don't care about Jay. If you all don't know, they're not even on the little thumbnail picture that I made. I don't care anything about them at all. So every time that they're on my screen, I feel annoyed. And I also, why is this show 2 hours long? Why? I know it's probably like an hour and 38 minutes without commercials, but it's still so long. And I just, oh Lord. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna talk about Russ and Powell. Russ's mother is on the way to meet the baby, and this is the first time that their mothers will meet. Powell is saying that she doesn't want Patty, his mother, to hold the baby too much, and I'm his mother and he doesn't really need all of that. And her mother doesn't understand why she's acting like this. And she's like, I understand that you can be protective, but this is being overly protective. And Russ is like, look, if my mama gotta hold the baby behind closed doors, then she motherfucking will. Anyway, and Pa was like, well, I lost a child and I pushed this baby out and I had him for 9 months. And, I just really feel like he needs his mother. And Russ is like, okay, whatever. He goes to pick up his mother. I think her name, I can't remember Pyle's mother's name, but they're talking, and her mother is like, you are being a little bit selfish. Like, it's a fucking baby. She's coming to help. She's coming to see her grandson. And then, of course, Pyle says, well, when I was in Oklahoma, they didn't let me feel welcomed, and I felt really sad, and then they accepted me when I went back when I had the baby, but I still just felt, at odds with them, and felt like, it would take a lot of time. And she says that she understands that her mother has the typical Latin personality. Basically, her mother could slap Patty as soon as she get there. Because she said, how you going to talk to my daughter like that? How you going to do that to my daughter? I mean, why would you even open up your mouth and tell your mother this? Why? Now they're going to be meeting, and your mother's going to want to slap the hell out of Patty. Now it's going to be some tensions. And her mother opened up her mouth and said, that's very hypocritical of them. I might ask Patty, why was she treating my daughter like that? Is that what you want? Y'all just had a baby. They're meeting for the first time. And what you want to do is you want your mama to go up and slap a woman in her face. Because you know that's what your mama going to do. Your mama's going to ride for you. Your mother's going to ride for you. And Paul is like, I hope that it goes well. I know that my mother, can be a little off the chain. And then her mother said, wait until she shows up, and then you gonna see. Her mother chuckled. Do you know what chuckling means? Her mother's gonna beat that woman's ass. And it's your fault, Paul. It's your fault. Why are you even letting this woman come if you don't want her to hold the baby? What kind of backwards bullshit? We see Elizabeth. Elizabeth's mother goes to tell her other daughters, Elizabeth's sisters, that Elizabeth is in labor. And they like, what do you mean Elizabeth is in labor? I never received a call from Elizabeth that she was in labor. And she's like, yeah, she's been in labor since 6 a.m. She called me and told me that she was in labor. I was like, okay, I'm on my way. Then, she said, I kind of just want me and Andre to be in the room. And, that really hurt me. And her sisters are like, bro, this is not the Elizabeth that I know. This had to be Andre putting her up to this crap. This is straight crap. How you gonna tell your mama that she can't be in the room? What? Then we see Elizabeth and Andre. And Andre is not doing anything stupid. He's being very, loving and everything, and getting ice and all of that stuff, and rubbing her back and doing all of that. She says that it's been a long time since she began labor and the baby still hasn't come. And this is what she said. She said, my mother has had 7 children naturally. Something that Elizabeth wants to do, have her child naturally. She's had 7 children naturally. So it would be really, really, really nice to have her in the room. If you know someone who's had 7 children, even 1 child, naturally, and that's the route that you want to take, even if they haven't had it naturally. If you know a person who didn't had a baby, don't you want them in the room other than a person who don't even... If he can push out a baby, then I'll give y'all $1 million. Okay? I'm just really confused. But we see that she's had the baby. Andre and the mother is there. She said after a while the contractions started to get really, really bad, and she wanted her mother. And Andre was like, I really didn't want to call. I don't know Elizabeth's mother's name, but I didn't want to call her. But I wasn't gonna argue with Elizabeth. She literally is trying to have a baby, so I'm not gonna say anything to her. And he called, and her mother was like, well, was I at least helpful? And he was like, yeah, I guess you were a little bit helpful. I don't know. Andre gets on my nerves. But Andre said that, y'all, I'm not going to get a light. My light just went out, so it's darker, but I'm not going to charge it. So moving on. Andre said that his main priority is to raise his child, and he doesn't want to fight with Elizabeth's family. The sisters come in, they hold the baby. Wow, even Andre, being a dumbass, controlling man, at least let her sisters hold the baby. Wow, it's almost like that's what people want to do with a baby. They want to hold it because it's a baby. And what else? Like, what else can you do? Anyway, that's the end of their story. Everything is happy. They have a baby. Elizabeth said that the pain was excruciating. And you're not prepared unless you've been through it. Gross. I don't want to go through it. Moving on. I'm getting sick of this whole Larissa, Debbie, Colt situation. Larissa and Debbie are in the car. Larissa is going to the store. Debbie's supposed to take her. Then Larissa's like, why are you so passive aggressive toward me? Debbie is like, what are you talking about? Debbie is like, I felt very disrespected that you didn't tell me about your case. They are having a little argument. Then Debbie is like, I'm gonna move. Larissa's like, you should move. Debbie is like, I'm gonna move because I don't want to be around you. And then I thought they were going to the store, but then Debbie pulled into a driveway and she was like, get out. And then Debbie didn't get out. And then Debbie told Larissa to get out, and then Larissa didn't get out. And so Debbie got out and called her a bitch. And she was like, she's a self-centered bitch. And then she was like, she gonna have to find her own way home. And then Larissa gets out, and Larissa gets into the car with the producers. And I guess they take her home, but I was trying to figure out, like, weren't you supposed to go to the store? Was this scene just manufactured for drama? Because I'm very confused. I don't know. I'm not really understanding, but Larissa got in the car. Debbie says she always on her phone or putting on makeup. She has no personality. Then Larissa and Debbie are home. Colt gets home. Larissa is like, I need you to go talk to Debbie. And Colt is like, well, what did you do to her? And she's like, I didn't do anything. And he's like, what did he say? He said in the confessional, my mother is a sweetheart. But he said something he said to her. And she was like, so you think it's my fault? And she's like, okay, whatever. She goes upstairs. I think she talks to the producers. And she's like, he never, takes my side in anything. She comes back out. She's like, you need to go talk to that bitch. When she's upstairs, Colt decides to drink a whole bunch of Jack Daniels. That wasn't no damn Jack Daniels. How you drinking Jack Daniels straight down the hatch come on. Unless Colt is an alcoholic. And even the alcoholic said it got a little bit of burn. Like, what are you talking about? My back hurt, y'all, So Colt is like, do you feel better calling her a bitch? And she's like, no, you stupid fat ass pig. She said something to him. She called him a fat pig. She said, is that your lover? Why do you act like you so scared of her? And I think that was all that they showed. But, like, we gonna see Colt say that he's done, and he wants a divorce and all of that. But I feel like Larissa really held in all of that stuff. And then, she said that his body shape was bad. Or she gonna say that next week. But that's true as well. And I just feel like Larissa waited all this time to say exactly how she felt. And she just might as well just pick up and leave. Just pick up and go. Because it's not gonna work. And when she asked him, was that his lover? He's like, no, that's gross. Of course it's gross, but like, it still don't change the fact that y'all act like y'all boyfriend and girlfriend. I told my husband, it just seems like to me, they have the type of relationship where Larissa and Colt would like get done having sex and Colt will go into the bathroom for his mother to wash him up. Like, it's just a really weird relationship. But that's the end of their story. I guess they're going to give us the good parts next week. And I hope that Ashley and Jay just disappears from the storyline. I mean, if he in Miami, then there's no reason for, oh no. Because I think she gets sick. Please don't tell me he the one who come and be with her for a sec. Oh, Lord. Anyway, last but not least, we see Chantel. Y'all, when I tell you, I don't know if it was this episode or if it's the fact that I'm really tired and I'm tired of watching this show. But I'm ready for this show to go off. I already know everything that's going to happen. I know that Colt and Larissa are not together. I know that Ashley and Jay are going through whatever they're going through. I know that all of this is leading into the spinoff for the Family Chantel, which I'm not reviewing. So don't even ask. I'm not reviewing the Family Chantel. I will watch it, the first episode, but I'm not reviewing it. I'm not reviewing it. I said I wasn't reviewing 90 Day the Other Way, and I did. That's a good decision. But I'm not going to review the show at all. Anyway, let's move on. We see Chantel and Pedro. They're going to the beach that they fell in love and that they did the boom boom first. To reconnect with one another. Pedro says that he feels really, really bad about, Chantel seeing the video of him dancing with Coho, and he wants to make it right. So, Chantel says that it feels really good for them to get away from the drama. Chantel does still feel concerned about what Obed told her, and she doesn't know how to bring it up, but she wants to make sure that Pedro's in a great mood before she brings it up. So they're, they play in the water. They're sitting on the little, I guess nobody was on the beach. I guess they rented the entire beach by themselves. Pedro says that we need to be a team. And, in the beginning it was perfect when we were boyfriend and girlfriend. But when we became married, I feel like our family started to stick their nose in our business. And that's where it got off track. Chantel says that she doesn't believe that the woman that she danced with was one of Pedro's friends from college, because that's what he told her. She believes that it was one of Nicole's friends. He says, yes, it was one of Nicole's friends. She's like, why did you lie? And he's like, because I didn't want it to be a big deal. He says, you want me to be on my knees? You want me to tell you I love you? I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. She forgives him. And she forgives him because she felt like it was a genuine apology. So they sit down to dinner, and this is when she asks him if the mother and the sister, Lydia and Nicole, set him up to be with an American. She says, maybe they set you up in the beginning and then you fell in love with me. I mean, I could understand that and I would accept that because you and I really do love each other. Pedro never answered the question. He just said, you gonna believe Obed over me? Obed doesn't like my family. He was supposed to be a family friend, but he's really not acting like one. And it just really didn't sit right with me, because it felt like every time Chantel asked him a direct question, he said, oh, you gonna believe him? Oh, if this is what you feel, this is what it is. Like, stop answering my questions with questions. I don't want that. So I guess she believed him, and Pedro did say that he loves her, like no one else will love her, and he wants to do whatever he wants to do to make her happy. You know what I meant when I just said that. And so she's like, what would make me really happy if you come to the United States? He says, you know what? For you, homegirl, I'm going to come to the United States. It's crazy because once Chantel found out that Pedro was in the wrong, the whole dynamic changed. Pedro was like, I'm tired, I'm sick, I need time to myself. Chantel came down there, he was giving her pennies on the dollar of his time, and then all of a sudden now he's gonna come back to America. They agree to meet with his mother and his sister for one last time, and they agree to be a team. So they go back to his hometown. They meet his mother and his sister. The mother is saying, you always tell your family your problems, and you shouldn't do that. And Pedro is the man, and he should be in control of the relationship. And Pedro's like, well, we're not going to be sexist right now. I do know that I have some blame in this. And Lydia's like, no, you don't have blame in anything. And Chantel is like, look, we're all entitled to our opinions, but I don't think that sometimes you need to express an opinion, which she said nothing wrong. Pedro then translates it as, well, you may have an opinion, but you need to shut your damn mouth. Chantel then asks Nicole, why would you show me that video? You love him. This is your brother. Why would you not want to hide his secret? Nicole says in the confessional that once she showed Nicole the video, she thought she'd never see her again. And Nicole didn't say anything, but, it's just dancing, and everything that has happened to you is your fault. So Chantel gets up, goes to the bathroom. When she's in the bathroom, Lydia and Nicole are talking to Pedro, and they're like, you can just stay here, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. It doesn't matter. It'll all just, be great. So Chantel comes back. Lydia says that you need to respect me as my son's wife. She says you need to not have your nose in our business. That's the second time I've used that phrase. Lydia then says, well, it's my job to have my nose in the business because this is Dominican culture, and maybe they don't do that in your culture, but I'm going to always ride for my son. That's my son. And she says, I understand that that's your son, but that's my husband, okay? And they just looking at each other like this. So then Pedro is like, look, I let you all here today to let you know that Chantel and I are going to go back to the United States. And his mother says that she's really shocked by this information. She didn't think that he would tell her this. And also, Nicole said when Chantel was in the bathroom, how are you supposed to bring a child into this environment? Like, you and I, we don't need, like, our families don't even connect. And then Chantel was like, this doesn't prove anything to her if Lydia and Nicole set this up and set Chantel up for the run around in the whimsy blimsy, okay? One thing I do know is that Nicole needs her ass beat. Okay? I'm not going to be disrespectful to his mother, but I'll beat Nicole's ass good enough where Lydia feel it too. Okay? Yes, y'all, I know that this was quick. Oh, I know that it was quick, but I'm on a schedule. Okay? So, I'll be back later on tonight with my 90 day the other way video. If you all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and everything else you need to know about me will be in the bottom bar below. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.